My name is Webb. I farm about 800 acres up in the Waimamaku Valley, up by Tāne Mahuta in the Hokianga. It's about 800 acres. It's a river valley, so I've got half of my farm on one side of the river and the other half on this side. It's got highly volcanic content, so lots of boulders. So I run Hokianga polled Herefords up here, so it's a combination of pedigree bulls and cows, and I've got somewhere around 350 to 400 livestock running on the farm year round. This is in a river valley that gets a lot of rainfall, somewhere around 4 metres a year. I think the rainfall is probably the single biggest challenge that I've got because it's really hard to keep the pH in the soil. When I first came here, the farm was quite tired. It needed a lot of fencing, but because I do most of the farming here myself on my own, I needed a set of cattle yards that I could rely on to be single-handed. Putting steel yards in on a really solid concrete base has been the best decision for this farm. It's been absolutely a breeze to run my stock through, and working the flow single-handedly, spent quite a bit of time on the design so that I could just come in here on my own and comfortably move my stock through. When I was designing and planning my yards, what was really important was the concrete. So I decided to up-spec the concrete. I felt that that was really important, so I went to a 30 MPa concrete, and instead of using any steel reinforcing or rebar or mesh, I've gone with a fiberglass reinforcing inside the concrete, so there's no steel mesh in there. And that, with the 30 MPa and the fiberglass, I don't even have a hairline crack anywhere on this platform, and this has been down for now 3 years. As we all know, animals like to do what animals like to do, so it's quite important that you get the flow so the animals don't have too many choices and they know where they need to go. So I created outer yards, holding yards. The animals can come into multiple holding areas. They can go down through the chute, through the crush and back out, and I've got multiple drafting options which I didn't have previously. What was really important was the galvanizing, because certainly I'm in a high rainfall area and I wouldn't want them rusting, so the galv seemed like it was really much better galved. And also you can tell by the thickness of the steel how much stronger this is to some of the competitor steel. So you might be buying cheap, but you only ever get what you pay for. So I was willing to pay a little bit more to get the best quality I could afford. So I've got no regrets about spending a little bit more money to get yards that I'm really happy with. And one of the things I really like about these yards is they're a little bit taller than most of the wooden yards. And so there's no temptation for the animals to try to jump over. That's really important, because with the wooden yards, they regularly try to find a way out. We're here, they're in, they don't feel any possibility that they can escape, so they don't try. Having little man gates, I've got a few man gates here that are really helpful for making sure that I can get to the right place within the yards. You need to have confidence that your yards are going to hold up, you need confidence that your crush is going to hold up and that it's going to do everything. And what I like about this particular crush is the squeeze. So if I've got a big animal in there that's a little bit doesn't want to be in there, I can just squeeze it into position. That's going to control it. I've got the head bale there that works really well in the back gate. So I can have 100% control over that animal, even if I'm working on my own, and not feel afraid that that animal has any way of getting to me. Personal safety is absolutely critical, and especially when I'm doing it on my own. If I don't have anyone else over here, I need to be able to run these with a great deal of confidence that I'm not going to get hurt or injured. So these yards were designed specifically so that the animals would flow very easily, that they knew which direction to go, that I wasn't ever going to get in their way. And having good cattle yards from a safety perspective is absolutely critical. So you've got good solid yards, they're strong, they're reliable, they're safe, they're easy to manage stock through, and I don't know what else you want out of good yards.